everyone. Today is the 6th of September. It is Labor Day in the United States, so if you are in the USA, happy Labor Day. And I think today begins the High Holy Days for my Jewish friends, so I hope that you guys enjoy this wonderful holiday season. I just recorded the first 5 minutes of this, and then my dad, who was here for dinner, decided to go home, which is fine, but he yells up the stairs, "Kashi, I'm leaving," and then he starts speaking in Polish, and I figured I would just try again. So I went downstairs, and I made a cup of coffee, which I should not be drinking at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but it's fine. It has been a wonderful weekend. I had today off, unpaid because I'm a new employee, but I don't care because it's nice to have a 3-day weekend every once in a while. And excuse me, I really don't get emails at my new job, so I don't feel like I have to check my emails. I'm not worried about anything, so it's great. I went to get a haircut yesterday. I took Frost, she needed one also, and we just went to like a holiday hair, and they could only take one of us, so I am still suffering with, I just need like, the bottom couple inches taken off, but I'll get there eventually. And then we went out for lunch yesterday, so that was nice. I've had a very productive weekend, both stitching and not stitching wise. So I have lots to show you, and I can't wait to get started. So first off, I threw this after I showed it the first time, but this is a bolster pillow that I keep on my bed that I didn't have a covering for. So I made a quilt top, and then I quilted it onto a backing piece, and then I attached this green here, and then I attached all of this, and then I sewed this closed. The initial plan had been that I would be able to change this out. This is it. It's like this forever now. I could unstitch this and take it out and change it, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. So anyway, these are 4x4 squares that I cut out, and then obviously they get smaller when you sew. But I chose 4x4 because of these leaves. I had just enough to make 3 patches. So it goes on my bed. I use it when I read at night. So I cut the fabric for this on Saturday. And then yesterday morning, I quilted it. You can see, I think it shows best on the dark red, but you can see I just used a cream colored thread, but I used my Singer Confidence quilter, and I used the actual quilting function. So it worked pretty well. I'm pleased. It's not perfect, as nothing I make is, but it makes me happy, and good enough for me. So that was finish number 1, fully finished number 1. This took about probably all in 4 hours maybe. I'm really pleased with it though. Then I was going through my fabric stash. I have quite the fabric stash for when I'm making pillows for people or myself. And I pulled out a bunch of Halloween fabric. I'm not a huge Halloween, I like Halloween, but I like fun Halloween. And I pulled out this fat quarter, and I just loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. And a fat quarter does not make a project bag. So I also used, I messed up right there. Oh well. This on the back. And then I lined it with this very bright orange yellow bat, and then I used a hot green Velcro, and then on the inside here, it's what I used on the back. I really wanted to use these fun fabrics, and I already have something that I'm going to show you in haul that I'm going to put in here. So this is my not needed Halloween project bag. I also quilted this using my Confidence quilter, and this was more like a, I don't know if you can see it, but it's a little bit more like a Celtic-y, not Halloween looking, I thought, pattern. I already had the trim, so this took probably 2.5 hours. The quilting doesn't take too terribly long. You can't go too fast. And then the issue I always have with these bags, and I'll have to go over and fix it, is sometimes it doesn't catch right here. So, but I love it. It's just for me. Love, love, love it. And then, so I had a finish last week, and then I fully finished the 3 finishes. So hang on just one second. I finally finished Autumn Royalty. I started this last fall, I don't remember. I could check. I don't know where my oh, here it is. Hang on, I can tell you. This is my cross-stitch bullet journal, which I have decided today that I'm going to take the time to actually update. I used to be really good about keeping track of all of my projects and all my Flosstube videos, and I need to get back to that. Autumn Royalty is on page 69. Hang on. I started the first one on 10/18, so this must have been my birthday start. So within a year, I got all 3 done. So again, Lindy Stitches Autumn Royalty. This was a last year. It came with the pattern, a project bag, the fancy floss, and I used a 14 count fabric flare. I really like fabric flare, except it shreds. So I had put frizz stop. It's like a fray stop on it, but yesterday when I was finishing, it was fraying where I had cut it. So next time I finish using it, I will use more of the fray stop on it as I'm finishing. So anyway, I made flat folds. This is a very long intro. So the first one, I finished this one. I finished stitching it this week, and that is the Count of Candy. So you guys saw the start of this last week. And then I watched Vanna's tutorial 3 times, and I watched a couple other tutorials. I found in the annals of history Vanna's written out tutorial from 2011. I found one from 2008. I read them all, and I really could not make sense of how we got the back attached to the front. And then I was watching Flosstube, and someone said that they used canvas boards from the dollar store to mount. So I went to the dollar store and Dollar Tree, and I bought a couple packs of canvas boards. This is a thick one, so this is only 1, but you can buy them. They're in 2 packs. They're 5x7 or 8x10 in a 1 pack, and they're like half the width of this, and you can finish right onto them. You can lace. I bought 3 packs, so I had 6, and I was like, well, that should be enough to lace onto, and it was. And then I'm watching all these videos again, and I was like, well, I would need what, 6 packs total to finish it in the correct way, and I really didn't want to go back to the dollar store. So I did Vanna's finishing, except I left out some steps. So mine only has the back and the front. The inside here is the canvas, so that's what you're seeing. You're not seeing the ugly part. And then this is my laced piece. Lacing onto canvas it was really easy. Probably because it will not bend. It was not hard at all. I didn't have to move any of them. I don't know if it was the fabric or the canvas or a mix or what, but I didn't have to move any of them. When I placed the canvas, it worked. It was the best experience lacing I've ever had. I also think it's probably because these were perfectly square. When you're cutting by hand on a desk, which isn't really wide enough for the entire piece of acid-free mounting board or whatever you're using, it's hard to cut straight. And then I'm lefty. I have trouble cutting in general. So this is what I did. So mine's only the 2 pieces. And then this is just, it's purple, but it's just binding tape, bias tape, or whatever it's called. And then I did use the shaker glue to put the fabric down on the canvas. Professional note, do not do that just on your desk. For now, my desk has glue on it forever. It didn't really stick for me, but I don't know if that was user error or what, but I think the back looks fine. And then what I did was, I'm a hot glue gun person. I know that people use Aleene's craft glue. I've not had a ton of luck with it. I like hot glue. That's what I use. So I hot glue gunned the fabric down. I think my corners look pretty good. And then I left this flap up, and then I hot glued the piece to this. And then I just added a little ribbon, and they do stand. So it took me a couple hours, but not like, I think it would have taken a lot longer if I would have done it the correct way. This is for me. I'm not a professional finisher. I finish for Katie Carney or for people who don't mind my bastardized finishing techniques. Jen. So this is what I did. These are going to sit on my bookshelf at work. You're not looking at them from the side. There's a wall to the side. You are looking at them from the front, and I wanted them to stand up, and they do. So I consider it a win. And I think now that I've done this, I will finish like this again. Anyway, sorry that was long. This is the Count of Candy. And that's the backing. I use the same back for all of them. This is the Prince of Pies. I love him. I love his little turned up head. And I love this guy too, Lord of Gourds. So this, like I said, it's on 14 count fabric flare. I have a lot of trouble speaking today. There's just a little piece of glue there. I really liked that color. It's the called for floss, which is a mix of WIPS and DMC. I used 2 strands because it's 14 count, which meant that I did not have enough of I think this is molasses, the count of like the words. So I just did the candy in Concord grape. I thought it looked nice in the purple. So these are going to work. Hopefully the nuns enjoy them. I think they will, the sisters. And to go with them, I got, these are little pumpkins. So I'll just string them around them. I got them at CVS. They were like $5. I have 2 packs of them. There's another pack in here. And then these are just, this is my dough bowl, but I only have one. This is the Halloween finish that Jen did, well, that Jen stitched and I finished last year. We did an exchange. So that's the only Halloween finish I have, which I leave this out all year long. But so this is in there with just some pumpkins from Hobby Lobby and those lights. So this will be for my work display. Fra actually said to me yesterday when I showed her, she goes, "Those are too nice. You should give them away." I think I'm very generous with my stitching. I give at least half of what I make away, if not more. I made these for me. They're for me. And she's like, "Well, you have so much stuff." Woman, so do you. Leave me and my stuff alone. So yeah, my first flat folds. Yay. So that was a WIP because I did a finish because I finished Count of Candy this week. And then I continued on with Little House Needleworks. This is Snow White. If you'll remember, I'm using white anchor floss for this, and 32 count or 36 green hand-dyed opalescent fabric from a Russian dyer. And I was stitching this in hand and I could not see at all. Put it on a hoop and that definitely helped. And then I was still stitching in hand, and then I put it on my frame, my Dubco, and that was the biggest help of all. Let's see, can you see that? There we go. So I did a little bit more work on the border, and I got the beginning of the tree. Well, I got a tree done. So we're moving along. Eventually this will hopefully be a pillow for the dough bowl. So this is a current WIP, but it's a WIP that requires good light. So it's not getting a ton of attention. And it's in my Pretty Southern pumpkin bag. I also worked on Consider the Lilies, which I'm several months behind, so I'm trying to catch up. Consider the Lilies, I am working on this with Made by Michelle Mcgraw and with Sarah K. Stitches. We are doing a sal, and we are calling it A Sparrow Among the Lilies sal, which I love. I am using 36 count Winter's Brew by R&R for this, and all the called for floss, except for some of the weeks they could not get, so there's a Classic Colorworks conversion, which is fine because I love Classic Colorworks. So this is Consider the Lilies by Heartstring Samplery. Here are the flosses. They're starting to look a little hairy from use, but they are gorgeous. And then I am working on July still. Like I said, I am behind, and I'm actually not even going to take it out of the hoop because I don't need to. So you guys, when you saw it 2 weeks ago, I had worked here. I did this here, the half, 3/4 of a horse, this flower, this little bee, and I'm starting this flower here, which will go up. It's pretty big. And then there's like one more small motif right here. I had figured I'd finish this yesterday, but instead I sewed all day long. I didn't finish the flat folds until probably 6 p.m. And then after that, I did a little bit of stitching and then some kitting. So I'm going to work on this as soon as I'm done recording and hopefully get a page finish, because I want to obviously do August and September's pages, and I'm looking to have those done in the next 10 days, which is probably not going to happen, but we'll try. And then my other WIP is knitting. This is May by Dre Knits. There's not much to see because it's just stockinette, but I got another probably inch done. I am using Lion Brand Woolies, which is a very affordable wool blend. And this is really great for when I'm in bed. I just put an audiobook on and I can just listen. So there's that. I figured out that, so I'm using metal stitch markers, and apparently I stitched the stitch marker onto my piece. So I'm gonna need wire cutters to cut that off, or I'm just gonna leave it there and have a random pink stitch marker on my finished sweater for the rest of my life. But I'm enjoying working on this, and the orchestra for us picks back up in October. And this is really great car stitching because I don't have to look at it. I can't cross stitch in the car. I'll get car sick, but I can knit. So this will go in the car. I've still got a long ways to go. I think there's 19 inches before I start the next section. So that's great. All right. And then my next WIP is also a couple finishes. I've set the goal that by the end of September, I will have Frost ornaments all done. My reaching goal is to have them done in the next 2 weeks. It'll just depend. I am doing all of her ornaments this year using this JBW Christmas Ornaments book that I got last year in my Advent box from the Black Needle Society. I am using currently this from my Frogwarts box, year one. This is Cherry by Color and Cotton, and this is the Every Flavor Bean floss that they gave us in year one. And then I have a little bit of DMC 304 to use still, and when I run out of those two, if I do, I pulled out some Sulky 712. So, Christmas red. I've never used Sulky. I have it, though. These ones are on 32 count Murano from, it's Zweigart, but it's the line they carry at Hobby Lobby. So since you guys have seen this last, I have done this one. This one took weirdly forever. I think because the motifs were all so small. This one, lots of trees. I like this one. They've all been stockings lately. So these first two, this one and this one, I used 2 strands of thread. And then this one, the little house, that's 1 strand over 32. Let's see. There we go. I like the coverage of the 32 count, but it is kind of hard on the floss. And hand-dyed floss I don't think does as well when it's too thick for the holes. So there's 3 done, and then I have a silly little start on the next one, which has got some green in it. So those are all my current, what I worked on in the last couple weeks. Like I said, I've been working on Frost ornaments. In the morning, I get up and read for a little bit, and then I stitch for about 10 or 15 minutes before I get dressed and make breakfast. I get up around 5:45. And then I leave for work at 7:30, and it takes 15 minutes to get there. So then when I get to work, I have about 10 minutes to stitch. And then it takes me about 15 to 20 minutes to eat lunch. So then I have 10 minutes to stitch. So I've been getting about 30 to 35 minutes a day on these. And then I put about a half hour in this morning and probably about 10 minutes in yesterday. So if you just sit down and do them, they're not that bad. I just need to sit down and do them. This is in my very small Pretty Southern bag. This is perfect if it's right in my purse. So I like this for very small projects. And that's it for my WIPS. So I'm going to go through haul and talk about plans I'm going to start with plans and then we'll go into haul. So you'll remember last year, there was the Coming to America pattern, which is by With Thy Needle and Thread. And I did not get it in time for the 400th anniversary start date. So I said, well, I'm going to start it on 4/01. And I'm pretty sure that the Mayflower left on the 16th of September. Do you think it's on the pattern? That would be helpful. $16.20. They did not tell me the date. There's no history here. But anyway, I'm pretty sure that it was the 16th of September. So I am planning to start Coming to America. I got this kitted from it's a yarn store in Baltimore whose name escapes me. I am using the called for, I think it's the called for fabric, although there are problems with the called for fabric. I'm using Vintage Country Mocha, and I think it's 40 count. Looks like 40 count. So there's my fabric. Is Vintage Country Mocha the one that you can use the Vintage Countryside or the, yeah. So it's Vintage Country Mocha. So there's the Country Mocha side and then just Mocha. And then I got gosh, what is that store called? I get stuff from her once a month. It's in Baltimore. She just celebrated an anniversary. So it came with the pattern came with this floss card, which is also a corner marker or corner gauge. And then these are the gorgeous colors. They're beautiful. So there is DMC in here, and the rest of it is Weeks and Gentle Arts. There is a lot of Oscar, which is, I'm using all of the border of Consider the Lilies as an Oscar. So I have lots of Oscar. And then it calls for grits, which I know, is it Country Stitchers? I think Deb loves grits, so I've never used it, so there's grits. So anyway, I love these colors. I just think they're gorgeous. So I will get a start on that. I don't know how much I will get done because I have so many WIPs. It's not good, but I did say a year ago that I was going to start this, and I do want to start it, so I'm gonna. And then my needle minder is the little pilgrim lady. I got her, and she'll go on my project bag. So that's a plan. Within the next 2 weeks, I will start that. And so the thought, excuse me, is I want to catch up with Consider the Lilies before. Sorry, I want to catch up with Consider the Lilies before I start that, but we'll see. I should be able to at least get through August. Then I have had some retail therapy. First off, I couldn't find any of they're in project bags, but I really like the Morgan 7-inch hoops. Hang on just one second. Sorry, my grandmother just called me to ask whose ice cream is in the freezer. Well, if it's not mine, then it must be yours. Anyway, these are the the Morgan hoops that made by Michelle Mcgraw. You're about to hear her name a lot, but she recommends these and I love them. And Hobby Lobby started carrying them, so it's very convenient because I could just run and get them when I needed them. They had 2 7-inches and I grabbed them both. And now you all will see why being friends with Michelle Mcgraw is a problem for me. So she came out with Flosstube this week, and literally during her video, she apparently went on a stocking buying pattern binge. And she showed one, and I immediately went to Dr. Google, and I could buy the PDF, so I did. So this is Cooler Classic Charts, and this is the Nativity Stocking. I love it. I love this. You can buy the pattern or the PDF pattern. The PDF was $13. I think the pattern itself was $17, and you would have had to pay shipping, so I got the pattern. So love that. Then she showed off her Halloween Village from Frosted Pumpkin, and I didn't really think anything of it. I love it. I had talked to her while she stitched it. We've talked about it extensively, about what she's using, how she changed the colors, and she showed it, and I was like, oh, it's so cute. And then 24 hours later, I messaged Michelle and I was like, I need all the information on your Halloween Village and I'm gonna make it. I don't know what came over me. So her Halloween Village is all Frosted Pumpkin stitchery, and she used the colors from Midnight Way. So those are those colors for all of them. So this is Midnight Way, and what she did was she broke them out. So she did this one and this one and this one into pillows. I'm gonna copy her. She sent me pictures. So there's Midnight Way. And then there is Halloweentown. Or maybe Halloweentown is the colors. This is probably the colors. So there's Halloweentown, same thing. This house, this house. I think she did this. I'll have to check. But I will probably do this because I think it's cute. The little pumpkins. Can you see those little pumpkins there? I don't like scary Halloween. I like fun Halloween. Then Penny's Potions. Again, I'll be changing the colors. I'll show you the colors in a second. So there's Penny's Potions. And I'll do the same thing for this. This is Welcome to Baddie's Bakery. Michelle did, she did hers on 14 count murky. I went through my stash. I obviously don't have 14 count murky, so I did order it. They have it at 123 Stitch in they have it right now. And then I also got a like wintry hand-dyed Zweigart. So I got 2 colors to see what I like in 14 count, and then here are the colors. So it calls for like 2 or 3 either, I think they were Classic Colorworks. One of them was bubblegum. I have WIPS bubblegum. This is the DMC conversion of bubblegum. Where is it? Oh, here it is. And I was like, well, I'm just going to use the WIPS that I have. And then everything else is DMC because I didn't have any of the fancy flosses. But I love the colors. Love, love, love. So I love this, but I cannot start this until Frost Ornaments are done. And I don't have the fabric. Can't start this until I have fabric. But that's gonna be my morning and work smalls for a little while. And then I didn't know this, luckily I was talking to Michelle as I was shopping. When you buy 5 patterns, you get 15% off at Frosted Pumpkin. So I got myself Camelot the Dragon. Look at how cute he is. And I'll make him into a pillow also. I love pillows. So that was my Michelle Mcgraw shopping binge for the weekend. And then this was the Jen shopping that happened the week before. She sent me, she got the Primrose Cottage mystery box. So if you get this and you didn't open it yet, don't look. So this is the pattern. And then it calls for, you can use any count of fabric. I'm going to use 14 count because I have some. And then here's the week's colors. I'm probably going to start this soon. And then it also came with, I love this. This is why I got it. I don't drink, but I'm going to put coffee in here. So that's Salem Stitching Co. Thought that was so cute. Loved this. And I have a piece of the fabric flare left from my flat folds. So I'm just going to do it right on here. In hand, obviously. So there's that. Funness. I wish I was done. I also got my monthly kit patterns from the store in Baltimore whose name escapes me. And that is Love So Divine Demands My Soul, My Life, My All. This is Heartstring Samplery Sunday Stitches. I think we have 3 months left, so. And then the sampler of the month for September. I think in January I'm probably going to start working on these monthly. But we'll see. Maybe I won't. One never knows with me. And today I ran to Hobby Lobby and picked up a couple things of fabric because I was there. And their fabric selection, as they've started carrying Zweigart, is great. I've used several projects. So if they would have had this in 14 count, I would have used it for the Frosted Pumpkin. And that is, it's vintage. I'm trying to figure out, I guess I could take it out. It's like a white with just a little bit of like a, let me see if I change the color. Whew. But that's actually it. So Nope. Yeah, that's it. Sorry, my ring light. But so it's like a white with a little bit of black. And then I did get it in 14 count in the oat color, but that's not black. It's just like more of a brown. And then I just got a 14 count ivory. And I think that's it for my haul. That's it for my haul. I hope. So yeah, I had a very productive couple weeks of stitching. I think emotionally I must be in a better place in the new position and feeling more hopeful. So I've been more in the mood to stitch. I'm tired when I go to bed, but I wake up energized to start the day, which is great. So I'm grateful for that. And like I said, I have some big plans, so I need to get stitching because I haven't really stitched all day. So I hope that you're well. I hope you had a happy Labor Day. I hope you're staying safe. Fra and I got our booster shots of Moderna. A friend called me and she said, you know, the Rite Aid's giving out boosters. And I was like, you don't have to ask me twice. So thank God for that, because, you know, now I've always worried about the Fra, and now I work with retired sisters. And I have that whole new line of people to worry about. So gotta stay safe, gotta protect them. You know, they've served all of their lives, so, you know, to be able to serve them is really great. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me and for watching my finishes. And Vana, if you're watching this, I'm sorry I bastardized your flat folds. Your work is beautiful, and I could never hope to be a tenth of who you are as a finisher, and you have the patience of a saint. Anyway, stay safe, guys. It was so nice chatting with you, and I will see you in 2 weeks.